Before you invest in Austin, Texas commercial real estate, you gotta watch this video because Class A, B, C, and D are not where you think they're gonna be at here in this amazing city. I'm gonna break down for you what no one talks about, the metrics, hidden corridor, and how to get your next investment that have big returns for you today and also later. My team's done $1.6 billion transactions over the past few years. I've seen just about every aspect of Austin. I'm going to show you exactly what to expect to get the best returns on your money. One of my customers asked me recently, do you have a map of where are the best places to invest in for commercial real estate for him, multifamily, here in Austin? And I figured I'll just make a whole breakdown for all of us. And I'm going to go super high level from like Austin as a whole, what to look for, what not to look for, and kind of like the history behind it. Then I'm going to break down what no one talks about in terms of permits, corridors, and opportunities that no one's telling you about. And then I'll break down, of course, what's actually happening currently in the commercial sector of Austin, Texas. You can see here, there are tons of opportunities here. Austin is one of the greatest cities in the world, at least in my opinion. So without further ado, let's hop into it. Now, Austin, Texas as a whole is a growing city, and it is a massive one when you add in the surrounding cities like Round Rock, Pflugerville, Kyle, Buda. Those are all secondary markets. Austin as a whole, as most cities, start from downtown. So office spaces, high rises, condos, these will be all downtown sectors. Now, the most affluent areas of Austin, and I have a whole video, it's 7 hours long. I know, long, that I created not too long ago that shows you exactly every aspect of Austin. So I'm not going to go too much detail, but for a quick recap, obviously downtown Austin is the most high end. Then we have Tarrytown, which is on this side. You're going to see way more luxury homes and even bungalows as well in these areas. We have Westlake and Collingwood, which are the next most high-end spots of Austin. Then from there, we have our 04 area code, which is Barton Hills and Zilker Park domain. We have East Austin, which is 02 on our zip codes. This is highly new development happening every single day. And then the list goes on and on and on from there, from being all north, east, south, and west. Now, if you're looking for a great buy and hold strategies with long-term potential, your highest places are going to be all four areas and all downtown areas. If you can invest in these two locations, these are considered Class A. So in multifamily, office spaces, industrial, mostly industrial is kind of East Austin section over here, and then all office building all around Austin. But if you're looking for like Class A, for like multifamily, for example, your downtown, your Old Fort area, some of up north, just not Runbury area, are going to be your hottest spots there. All Class B strategies, depending on what you're looking at, are going to be some of our East Austin area. You know, East Austin is a growing area. I think one day soon, we will see a lot of our Austin downtown actually spill over into our East Austin because it's kind of been going anyways. So I do see a lot of potential here of being a new A market in the coming years. But right now, it's probably more of a Class B. Now, if you go down the map a little bit more, though, on this side of East Austin, now we're kind of like a Class C, and some parts of this are even Class D. So there are some places here, there are all apartments buildings right here. You can see there are a mix of Class C and also Class D, depending on what part of it you're in. So like by this gas station over here, some of these are kind of not super sketchy, but like overall, like you have a better return on a stable place in different areas. Now, the way Austin's growing, though, I will say investing in these Class C and high D pluses, like this area, is not a terrible idea because we do know that, unfortunately, Austin's being gentrified every single day. So these areas are really becoming more and more of Austin as a whole. In the beginning, Austin, Texas was just downtown and over here in Clarksville and Tarrytown and some of East Austin. And if we expand, the same thing is happening. So when you look on a map, you want to see the long-term time horizon from that point of view. Up above, we have our North Austin. If you buy the domain, this is going to be a great sector for office spaces, for some industrial, some retail, and also some multifamily as well. A lot of Austin North is great. Now, there are pockets, though, of Austin that is not as high class. We're going to be all like the Runberg area. That is a mix of, some crime, not a whole lot of major issues. But I will say Austin as a whole is a pretty peaceful town. Like, obviously, we all a major city here in America, but compared to like New York or New Jersey or Chicago, we don't really have like true ghettos as much as other cities, which is a huge blessing. Some of East Austin on the follow banks as people being pushed out. Unfortunately, lower income people are more on the sidelines. So you're looking at like the Daffins, which is not a bad area, but like East Austin, this off of MLK, you may see more of those locations there. Now, the way I look at Austin as a whole for like Class A, B, and C, and D, based on Austin's health, is going to be Lundberg, and then our East Austin pockets, which is kind of our D classes. We look at for our C classes, we have some of South Austin, which is kind of further away, it's not as high returns, not as epsilon areas. We have some of North Austin, same for B classes as well. All A classes are going to be the downtown Austins, the West Austin before you get to Westlake, kind of by the Tarrytown areas, and of course down south, the closer to the river, which is going to be all, 04 area code over here. All of these definitely Class A, Class A, Class A. So this is a quick overview for you, kind of show you exactly what to expect in that regards. Now, if you move further out the list to the Budas and the Kyles and those areas, those are solid, Class C's, because like one day they will be Class B's because Austin's growing so quickly. If you reference Dallas, Texas, or Houston, for example, I did a lot of research about this, and those two areas became massive. Let me see, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if I go to Dallas, Texas, which is even a larger city, at one point in time, like Fort Worth was not part of Dallas. But now when you say Dallas, Fort Worth, you'll combine them together. They're now a joint area. And this is happening more and more from like Frisco, a major area, which at one point in time, Frisco was like a Buda or a Plano. A Plano is like a Buda or like Kyle or San Marcos for us here in Austin. Now in Dallas, you can see how fast it's growing, that all these little cities that at one point in time was just regular cities are now becoming more Dallas proper. So when you're looking at the time horizon of things, I love and my clients love from family offices, institutional buyers, and everyday people, they love getting in early on amazing investments. So I think investing in Class A can be good. Normally, it's my family office clients, it's my industrial buyers and investors because like they're looking for a place to just park their money and make good returns. Whereas the Class B and C, you probably know, are going to be your biggest equity plays. Now, you want more help and support on all of this and have a whole breakdown. Of course, down below, link in the description, I'll call me directly and walk you through all this and more tailored to your experience. I've saved my clients millions of dollars over the past couple months alone, honestly, and help them earn millions more with our help for deal sourcing, negotiations, and hold on yards. No obligations, but we'll put it out there for you. Now, going back to my map, though, I want to really stress the importance of like looking long term and not just short term when it comes to investing in commercial real estate. If I go back to my map in Austin again, you can see how it looks. All these areas, though, the Pflugervilles and Round Rock, one day will just be Austin. Like, oh, it's Austin, Round Rock. When I first moved here a decade ago, I honestly thought that Round Rock was Austin. Oh, it's just down the street. It's just like a little neighborhood or sector of Austin. And like obviously now I'm an agent and I've done a lot of transactions, $1.6 billion in deals for my team. I know that's not obviously the case, but a lot of people I speak to who are new to Austin think Buda is the suburb. So behind giving some nuances there. Now, here's the things that no one tells you about, no one thinks about for some reason, but I think this is our biggest tell on like where to invest in Austin because it's impossible to time the market, but it is easy to see patterns. So if I come back over here, let's look at constructions. These are all of the permits that have been issued since 2010. And this gives us a really good look on like where is the hot spots and the rising spots of this area. So in 2010, you can see we had 162,000 permits pulled for East Austin. Honestly, probably most of them in the past 5 years. We have all Rollingwood and all West Austin, 200,000 pulls. We have South Austin, way further down, which is by Circle C, which is 120,000 pulls. And of course, the domain in the past 10 years and up north had 144,000 pools of permitting in the past 15 years. So I'm looking at this map. I want to see like what's already popular, what's already being developed, what is already being upgraded or moved around to make these assets better. Because this tells us where we should invest in, where it's dying, and where it's declining. Let's see if we can do a 2015 pool. Look at 2015, the past 10 years. We have 290,000 pools in all South Austin, like right in all Southeast Austin. So I said this before, I think this pocket over here of all East Austin, like right now, there are some spots that are, Class D or war zones and Class Cs. But if you look on the map here, we can see there are tons and tons of growth happening on our map. Or Barton Hills, 79,000. Or Rollingwood and Tarrytown, 30,000. South Austin, 32,000. 35 up north. I'm trying to find and predict what's actually happening for us in terms of a long-term investment that's going to have great returns by actually looking and analyzing the data. My firm, the Elite Real Estate Group, we are data-driven, or marketing-focused, and client success obsessed. And part of that is just looking at these kind of spreadsheets, these maps, and really understanding the nuances behind where the growth happening. Let's do our last 2020 point before we move on to the next sector. You can see the trend of sign is taken to the same area. We have 72,000 pools, east or west/South Austin area. 63 pools in East Austin. Again, I think East Austin will become a new downtown before we know it. We have 12,000 pools downtown, 4,000 down in East Austin area. This little pocket 34, I think, is really, really growing. 10,000 up north. You can see here, this lets us know where are our good pockets. If I go to South Austin, this is our A-class area. You can see this huge area. There's 1.2 here. Okay, cool. This neighborhood might be really powerful. Let's scroll down. I can see if it's commercial, residential. You can see here, like almost half, or a little less than half of this is commercial pools, which I love to see. This construction, applied 2025-09 on Tuesday. Expired. And over here, I can see the link. I can come over here and literally see what was poured. Okay, it's a sidewalk, commercial. It's new. It's currently active. That's a good sign for me that it's being upgraded. Let's go look at the property. This is probably not the correct one based on that. So you can see there's some major growth here. A lot of houses on the side. There might be a traditional permit for construction though. But when I'm looking at this kind of things, I'm trying to see exactly what's happening. I can see that this was a investment group run by a contractor, pulled by this person. Let's go back to my map and let's see this other commercial deal that's being pulled over here on a sidewalk, grab and cutter. It's also good to know if the city's also investing in these areas, that tells us as well, okay, great, if the city's investing here and upgrading things, this may also be good for us to know as well for our future investments. But I'm just trying to see, irrigation, landscaping. So this is an easy way for us to really tell what's happening in a location and if we're seeing any major growth. So this is a luxury northeast apartments. All right, cool. I now know that these apartments are upgrading places over here, meaning that they are seeing returns. So I'm looking at this map, I'm going to find actual data. So these data tells us where's hot, where other investors are investing in. And a lot of times in Austin, we have a lot of family offices, a lot of institutional buyers and funds. And these people have hired teams that all they do is research. They research across America, they research across Texas, and across Austin. And they have, okay, let's allocate more funds into this apartment because we know that downtown Barn Hills is a growing area of high appreciation rate, which also is buying dirt there alone is a great investment. So that's stage one. Stage two, let's look at all, there you go, our Austin corridor. So this is also a really unique aspect of Austin that no one ever speaks about. So Austin has the corridors that we've used for decades, and they don't ever really change. And what's nice is that some pockets of areas will try to fight it because if you're in a 10 block line, either direction, or like maybe like a half a block, 2 block line from either direction, your ordinances are not the same as normal. So here's an example. The West Campus, a lot of student housing. This is like a Class A area. If I'm looking over here, I'm buying at West Campus, I can only build, let's say, for example, 4 stories high. 4 stories. If I am on a corridor, though, my new metric is 8 stories. I can do twice as much in my density thanks to the corridor because it's based on travel. So that means, okay, this is a higher populated place. You can have higher buildings over here and do more investments. So I'm looking at my deals for my clients who's trying to buy, multifamily, office spaces, storage units, you name it. I'm looking at all this data. I'm going to see, okay, if I'm looking at Zilker, we just saw before, let's look at this map and find apartment complexes that's off South Lamar, which is one of our major roads. And I'm going to try and build on the little pockets over here. If it's redevelopment, even better. If it's development, it's also great. It may take a little bit longer, but is this thing you can do too. Like right now, we have a deal currently that's off market, well, marketing. It's $9 million. Is outside of Austin, and it's totally a development play. And like those are great money opportunities, but it takes more time. So if I can come in here instead and I find, these big corridors, East Austin has big corridors, another East Austin, big corridors. So these corridors, if I can overlay my Class A's, which is downtown, South Austin, Class B's and C's, overlay the permits I'm looking at as well onto these, I said, great. In the past 30 days, here are the construction permits that have been poured. We have downtown, we have South Austin, we have Rollingwood and Tarrytown. These are great, great pockets. Let's scroll down some more. Let's see if there's any permits poured. Okay, so we see here, there have been permits poured here. Here's South Lamar. And if I come over here, I'm going to see this is a permit to open right now. Let's scroll down and see exactly what was being built. If it's still active, what kind was it, how much size was it, $5 million on this one, or $5,000 on this one, $20,000 on this one. So I'm looking for trends. I want to find what all other people are investing in. This is residential. This is auxiliary power line. So I don't care as much about this one for commercial real estate, but it's still, good to see the trends there. It's probably actually being a new build on that one. This is interior. They spent $15,000 on this one. And it says construction for commercial remodel. Okay. So you can see here, this is how we're looking at stuff. They did a whole unit. And also that unit we just looked at is also off of the corridor. So like that is a great opportunity for us now. Okay, great. So this is the office building. It was upgraded, so we need to see some life there. And that's right now, since there's a huge decline in pricing for office buildings, so you can find ways to like reuse them. I think it's also be a good opportunity for us. This is what I'm looking at on a large scale, kind of see what's happening. This is 17 stories. If I look at my corridor, it's right off that map there. So also showing you why they can build so high. And now let's go back even further and see what's actually happening now and kind of cross-examine what we just broke down. So now we know our Class A's, B's, C's, and D's. We know the corridors. We know the growing areas thanks to our permits that have been happening, our construction has been happening over a few years. Here's all the properties. You can see our downtown, North Austin, and South and kind of East Austin is our highest populated places because those are Class A, B's, and C's. On the outskirts, if you think about Class D and something like the least returns, those are the outskirts, but our main ones are coming north and some east. The office spaces, you can see we have most of them are Class A's. This is downtown, up north, and down south. If I look at our industrial, you can see it's kind of spread out. Some are South Austin, some are East Austin, and of course, a lot of them are Northeast Austin. If we look at retail, this is going to be all dispersed across this major corridor here because this is a hotspot. Our whole roads, we have I-35, we have 183, we have our Lamar. Those are when you'll see most retail because, they're trying to have supply and demand, more drive-by traffic. And it's all down this line. So this is all pretty much A, and some are A and B's. If I look at restaurants, if you are a restaurant connoisseur, of course, downtown is going to be your highest Class A opportunities. And then we have some spread out in North Austin as well, which in some cases is high, so A Class 2, if you're close enough to the main. Now let's look at multifamily. Again, multifamily is going to be 6 units, 8 units, 56 units. They have a large range of places. Now, of course, if you're in the 04 area, which is down here, Class A, downtown, you're going to see as well where high rises, where multifamily ones. So we're looking at all this map, and it shows us this is a good one. This is 7851. It's a great area. Good Class B. We have some East Austin. We have some super far South Austin ones. I see 24. So then let's close this one off and let's look at specialty. Won't be a whole lot in Austin. Obviously, you're looking at specialty, like hotels, for example, is this one here. This is one specialty. This is our North Austin area. It's called Class B sector over here. It is growing though. We have some a little bit further down and some down south. Now, you won't find a whole lot of specialty in Austin proper. If you're outside of Austin, obviously, you have more opportunities. And then let's look at land for development. So looking at land, if I'm using the same map as before from permitting in our corridor, this shows me a lot of good opportunities. We have this huge pocket here, a lot of East Austin as well. So if I can look at the East Austin places, or South Austin places, I can say, great, this is being sold as land. This is also being sold as land. I'm looking at how close can I get to my downtown from looking at my Class A's, looking at my Class B's. I'm looking a bit further out over here and also up north. So I hope this is kind of give you a good idea like what our maps look like for Austin. Of course, when you're looking at Austin, you really want to see different areas. You want to walk places, tour places, or hire me to do it for you. Of course, my team and I have done tons and tons of transactions over the past few years here in Austin, also all across America as well. But this is how I go about looking at our Class A, B, C, and D opportunities in Austin, Texas, in terms of what's actually happening, what's being built, what will be built, and so much more. If you like this, make sure you smash that like button, tag your friends, use the sale. You want more support, more help. Over here, a whole breakdown of what to expect when we do underwriting here in Austin, Texas, or anywhere for that matter. And down below, a whole playlist that shows you all things commercial real estate, investing, how to be active or passive, and so much more. And of course, you want more support. Down below, link in the description, no obligation, call me directly, I can walk you through the best strategies and systems. I just saved one of my clients $375,000 off the ask price on one deal together. One deal. And we do this all the time, right? On a daily. So this is our specialty, helping you have more deal flow, helping you sell transactions as well, getting the best returns every single time. But as always, thanks for being here. I'll see you at the top. Have the best day yet.